So Trump was talking to Christians. Christians got to get out there and vote. You won't have to vote again, Christians. You know, that made the Christians happy. At least the ones he was speaking to. This makes the Christians mad.
And it just emboldens Trump, if you ask me. But continue.
Oh, this 100%, 100%. Look at the woke mob. Look at the liberals in Paris. Look at what they did. Christians vote for me. They don't care about your Jesus, I mean. 2024 Paris Olympics officials apologize for Last Supper parody at opening ceremony. There was never, quote, there was never an intention to show disrespect to any religious group. This is what you see. This is also right here. People started getting angry because they had a child there too. It's allegedly imitating the Last Supper,
which is the painting.
Which Last is the Supper painting. Yeah, from I believe Da Vinci.
Yeah,
was never an intention to show disrespect to any religious group. On the contrary, I think that Thomas Joly really tried to really intend to celebrate community tolerance. That was his word yesterday. And looking at the result of the polls that we shared, we believe that this ambition was achieved. If people have taken any offense, we are of course really, really sorry.
Mais notre intention n'a jamais été d'être impertinent ou d'être subversif, comme je l'ai dit tout à l'heure. Notre idée, c'est simplement que oui, dans cette grande diversité, il y a besoin d'être conjointement... nous avons en tout cas voulu nous conjointement inclure tout le monde. Voilà. En France, la création artistique est libre. C'est le premier article de la loi sur la liberté de création. J'en profite comme d'autres libertés en France, dans ce pays. On a la chance de ça. Il n'y avait pas de volonté pour moi de passer de messages plus, militants. C'était simplement des messages républicains. En France, on a le droit de s'aimer comme on veut, avec qui on veut. En France, on a le droit de croire ou de ne pas croire. En France, on a le droit, on a beaucoup de droits, voilà. Et c'était l'idée de faire transparaître ces valeurs-là à travers la cérémonie.
Reached out to ceasefire. The president doubled down on their decision to part ways with the Olympics.
Well, I love Lady Gaga and Celine Dion, but I thought it was very disrespectful and sacrilegious.
Mississippians are responding to the Paris Olympics open ceremony, the ceremony not only getting backlash from viewers, but also local companies. Ceasefire went to social media announcing that they are pulling advertising from the Olympics, the technology company feeling like the sporting event made a mockery of the Last Supper.
I think that's a great idea.
Some believe a portion of the Olympic Open was emulating the final meal Jesus shared with his disciples before his crucifixion, saying what they saw during the performance does not align with Christian values at all.
I think it's just indicative of how the people tend to criticize a Christian's religion rather than any other religion. It wouldn't have flown if it had been against the Muslim religion or another religion.
I thought it was great. I've been to France a couple times.
Others feel the open ceremony is being misunderstood and has nothing to do with Christianity.
There's confusion over the Greek representation that was meant by that piece. So probably just checking in a little bit more about the cultural piece that was being pulled into that. But I don't think that it was pulling in the Italian Last Supper art at all.
The 2024 Paris Olympics has gone full woke dystopian. This is Kyle Becker. The opening ceremony was filled with transgender mockery of the Last Supper, the golden calf idol, which over here you can see they're saying that's the golden calf idol.
Oh wow!
And even the pale horse from the Book of Revelation, right there.
Oh
wow! The Olympics has made it clear that Christian viewers aren't welcome. Colin Rugg, the Paris Olympics is under fire for including a child in their hypersexualized, blasphemous rendition of the Last Supper. The parent child could be seen joining the drag queens during the performance. The thing is, I looked at this they're not taking the exact poses of here that. So I don't know who this child is supposed to be, unless she's supposed to be this dude with his hands up. I don't know. I don't
And
know
I'm
how
like,
to.
what's the creative? What was the creativity behind the child being one of the particular disciples? It's
Yeah,
just kind of weird. I have a lot of complexities to this, a lot of complex thoughts. I guess for what it represents, I could see why Christians were upset. Y'all know that like this the rendition of the Last Supper, it's only a painting. It's not scriptural. It's not biblical. Uh, Nothing in the Bible kind of shows this painting. There was a Last Supper for sure, and
right.
this was just Leonardo da Vinci's interpretation of that. I was at church today, and Tranquil brought this up subliminally in the message today. This whole situation is like we need to have an answer for this, having the truth for this. And I feel like my truth is this like it's going to come back in some way, shape, or form in a good way for God. This is I'm not going to say that this is wrong or right or whatever the case may be. This sounded and it's what it sounded like to me was that they weren't trying to offend anybody. But for Christians to kind of like people trying to pull advertisement of the Olympics, like that's gonna do something. It's the Olympics, y'all. Like people gonna. My father watches the Olympics all the time. He, I asked him. I said, Did you see the this part of the thing?" He said, "Yeah." And I was like, "So what did you think about it?" And he was like, I don't know." And and I was like, "Okay." Like, did you know that there were drag queens? He was like, "Oh, there's something I ain't really like about that." Yeah, And so there was something about that thing, There was something about it that I wasn't really feeling. But that ain't gonna stop the man from watching the Olympics. You gonna watch it. We was watching the swimming thing. I told him all about it, and then we ended up watching swimming, like the 400 meter. You don't stand with it. You don't stand with it. Maybe I just feel like people are wilding out with it, and I feel like they said so. I forgot they said something that alluded to the fact that these people are horrible for whatever reason, and I'm like, you don't know any of these people, man. Like you don't know any of these people. You don't know why they do what they do. Don't watch the Olympics, I guess. Celine Dion did a great job, y'all. She thought she was sick. She thought she was gonna die, and then she murdered her performance. Hats off to Celine Dion. I mean, I don't know, boy. Like, and this coming from a Christian, like, it's a very weird stance to take. Sonia Massey just died by a horrible death from a cop. We need to do peaceful protests. We need to do peaceful protests for her. I haven't heard any religious communities coming out for her for her respect, for her love, to pay respects in any way, shape, or form. But y'all mad about this? Where your priorities at, bro? Like
Yeah.
that's where I'm at with it.
Yeah, it's tough for me too because I do like get what Jimmy's saying here. Like, why would they think this was a good idea? You wouldn't do that and to any other religious
Image.
uh image or momentum.
I think he meant monument.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, I do think there's an aspect of that that's true. I do think that a good amount of other religions you wouldn't touch that, you know, with a 39.5 foot pole, to quote the Grinch. And I don't know why that is. I could even understand why, some people, whether it be in the transgender community, LGBTQ, all of that, would do a parody of something like this for, personal reasons. They might feel like this is something that demonizes them, you know? They may feel, hurt and all of it, and have been treated terribly because people have used scripture to justify doing so to them. So something that they don't believe and that they feel is against them, yeah, I could see you turning that into a parody. But I do know that you don't really see this in other religions. I do think that that's probably because Christianity is the dominating religion in general in the world, even though that is changing. So I guess that's why it gets those shots. Now, I do wonder this whole aspect of, they weren't trying to imitate the Italian, Leonardo da Vinci's thing. This was a Greek interpretation of either something else or I don't know if it was the Last Supper or whatever, but I remember the lady in the video mentioned a Greek interpretation. I wonder if there's more to this. I don't know. I don't exactly know. I will say if their intention was to be, and they said that it wasn't, and Paris is a very different place. They made sure in those speeches to acknowledge that.
Yep.
We have certain freedoms. We are free to be whoever we want, believe whatever we want, and not believe. Like we have certain freedoms. We are not like I really do.
But
think
we're here in Mississippi.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
But out here in Mississippi,
all y'all Frenchies over there. I'm sorry.
gonna stomp on your croissants. All right. It might not be that big of a deal over there, So you're talking about two different cultures as well. So I just feel like there can be more to this. I don't know about jumping to conclusions on it. If there was an intent to be negative or disrespectful or anything like that, then yeah, I do think I do feel like this shouldn't have been done, but if there's more to this, then I feel like that should be considered before people,
And we're calling it a parody when they're calling it an interpretation.
Right. They're talking about an inclusive
or rendition.
Yeah.
So that's different. I guess it all depends on the intent. If your intention was to be disrespectful, then there's something that we got to talk about. But if your intention was to not be disrespectful, then it was really good. You know what I'm saying?
I just feel like there's a possibility that there's more to this. And too often, I feel like Christians have jumped to crazy conclusions with things that,
like there's so many other things. There's so many other injustices in the world. There's so many other situations, and y'all just like standing 10 toes down on these negative situations. There's other negative situations that happens in this world where they need Jesus. They need Jesus. They need to know the gospel, and we decide to sit in it, to stew in it, and just say, hey, I'm mad, so let me just retract, and I'm gonna do this for the Lord. You can't do one thing for the Lord here and do nothing for the Lord here. And he tells you, this is what I want you to do specifically. He does talk about shun evil, but what is evil about what this is? You know what I'm saying? Like, let's you don't even know any of these people's lives. Let's just keep it a stat. And if y'all really was that live, if y'all really was about that life, y'all will be calling for the team to leave. But y'all want them, you want the medallions, bro. You want to get the gold.
That's a good point.
Oh, stop! I don't want the advertising. But here we go. Here we go with the we still got LeBron James out here chilling. We got Beyonce not sponsoring, but introducing the Team USA. Come on, y'all. Like, where's your priorities at? Stop playing with me. Start raising money to get rid of the USA team, and then I'll be like, all right, so y'all really out
here. Now y'all about it.
Now y'all about that life.
Yeah, I do feel like certain things could be taken out of account, like the picture of the bull, and it's like the golden calf. I don't know about this white horse thing. The pale horse. I do feel like in Christian circles, things that could be coincidence end up being reached for as justification. And you could do that with anything. You really can do that with anything and in any way. You could make something look like God or make something look like the devil, you know? So I'm not saying it is, I'm not saying it isn't, I'm not saying it's intentional, I'm not saying it's not. I'm saying be careful, because you end up being that guy, and then you saying things like Kyle Becker, opening ceremony was filled with transgender mockery, where you just feel the hatred or the vileness that this person has for that community, and that should not be the case.
And not trying to repeat what Joe's saying. I think that we need to lead. We need to speak the truth in love, and that's what the gospel is about. Is love. That's what Jesus is about. It's love. It's all about love. And for you to pour out such vitriol to another community of people, it kind of loses the message. And that is what causes people to not like Christians. It's how you react to these situations is why people be looking at Christians like, yo, y'all fake, y'all contradictions, y'all this, y'all that. Because I thought you were supposed to love all people, but here you are not loving your neighbor. Let's start there, and think about, like, here's the reasons why. Oh wow, they believe in this specific kind of art. Let's talk about the art. Let's talk about this like why this is difficult for us. You know what I'm saying? And let's find a common ground. Jesus did that with the Samaritan woman. He found common ground with her, made her see the truth in love, and was like, "Yo, I need to make a change in my life." This is what he did with with the leper. These are all stories that you see in the gospel. Not one of them did he say, "I'm going to walk away from you. I'm gonna stop advertising you." He never met a single soul with hate.